It's the Gone Fishin' podcast in association with the OEHL and the Shelburne Muskies, and hosted by OEHL live on YouTube play-by-play commentator Andrew Rogers. This podcast is brought to you by Larry's Small Engines, your trusted Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Ski-Doo dealer in Mono, Ontario, Canada. Located at 286-270 County Road 10. Visit their website at larrysmallengines.ca or call 519-941-1517 today. Here is your host, Andrew Rogers. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Gone Fishin' podcast. This is episode number 17. It's our OEHL playoff edition of the Gone Fishin' podcast. I am Andrew Rogers, your host. My handle is at the Real Raji 21. Find me there on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the good things. Follow me everywhere but Twitter. I'm actually not on it. No. But yeah, Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube at the Real Raji 21. Great to be back with you guys again for another week and another episode. A lot to talk about, man. I just realized this. The playoffs started in the OEHL 5 days ago. It feels like it's been 50. I don't know why that is, but it just kind of feels like it's been going on for a long time already at this point. However, like I said, we're only 5 days in, and already just so much great action and all across the OEHL playoffs. We're going to get into it all. I'll go through all the series with you, and we'll get you caught up on where each series stands at this point. Want to do something really special off the hop here when we get started. I want to give a shout out to the content creators out there in the OEHL, not only specifically the OEHL, but the senior hockey circuit. There are a lot of them out there. I'm probably going to miss some, and I apologize in advance. But for me, I've been granted this incredible opportunity to come before you on a podcast or a YouTube channel and be able to talk hockey and give you my insights and I guess opinion on things, and keep you up to date and informed on the happenings of the OEHL specifically. Like I said, I've done a lot of games play by play this year. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get to any of the playoff games this past week, but got plenty upcoming. So, I got a life outside of this. I mean, I got responsibilities and other obligations. I can assure you none of which had anything to do with the Super Bowl. Just saying. Didn't even really watch. Didn't really have a fight in the ring, bird in the nest. I don't know what you want to call it, but I didn't have a vested interest. Didn't really care for Bad Bunny either, but apparently he was awesome. One also, so a couple things. Well, actually, I know on a broadcast I was inclined to bring up the unfortunate passing of Catherine O'Hara, Canadian TV icon and movie icon, obviously starred in the Home Alone films alongside Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister's mother. Her passing. So I made sure to pass that on a broadcast. But yesterday, because this podcast comes out on Thursdays, yesterday we lost James Vanderbeek in the pop culture world. Vanderbeek, of course, was suffering through cancer, a cancer diagnosis, and was taken. From what I read, died peacefully in that sort of thing, but still absolutely sucks. A big TV star early on in the 90s with Dawson's Creek. That was a big one. And Varsity Blues for obviously sports fans, including myself, know that movie quite well. So just really sad stuff there to pass along. Um, so obviously, that's a huge bummer and a huge hit to the pop culture world and entertainment industry. Um, One thing I do want to touch base on also before we get into our content creator spotlight, as I'd like to call it, I want to tell you how personally happy I am that Sid Seixeiro is back. For any of you who, well, watch Canadian sports TV, know very well who Sid Seixeiro is. He spent a lot of time on breakfast television. That was his most recent thing before coming out with a podcast of his own, the Sid Seixeiro Show on YouTube. Um, like before that, it was Tim and Sid, a couple hours of edutainment, educating and entertaining, and no doubt about it. Tim and Sid, they were on Sportsnet. They were on the Fan 590. That be Sid Seixeiro and Tim McAuliffe. And obviously before that, he got his start with the Score Television Network as well, which is crazy to think of all those times. I basically grew up watching this guy and how amazing he is. And something I love about him is his hot takes because they're electric and they can be, out there, but he has no filter and he doesn't really care what you think of him. But I think that's what's so cool about him is that he'll tell it like it is and he won't BS anything. So it's great to see him on his YouTube channel and doing his thing. So really cool to see that. Um, yeah. From there, I want to give a shout out to the Blocking Biscuits guys. I don't know if you've seen these guys. If you haven't, you should. I'll make sure to spotlight this coming up here. But Brad Thompson, the producer of the podcast, and Trey Hamilton, the host, as well as there's a couple guys who created Blocking Biscuits. I don't know who they are. Their identity is not known to me, but they started it with coverage of all senior hockey and all the teams in Ontario and expanding. And the Blocking Biscuits guys. So Brad and Trey had me on to discuss an OEHL preview show, and that was absolutely phenomenal. So hats off to them. Just so cool being able to go on there and talk hockey with those guys. But yeah, what I want to do here is I want to show you. I want to give it an opportunity. You guys may have seen it already on the tab there on the side of your screen. But I want to take an opportunity here to shout out some content creators in the senior hockey circuit, not necessarily the OEHL, but just the senior hockey circuit in general. The first one I want to shout out is Emma Nickel Photography. These are just screen grabs of Instagram, so you have information there. Emma Nickel, the one who took the photo of me for the podcast and then all my live stream games as well. Just does phenomenal work and just really, really cool stuff there. So again, make sure to follow along with her. Also want to give a huge shout out to Mike McGinney of McGinney Photography. Again, you can find him. He does a lot of work. He's very, very busy all throughout. Like he's from St. Mary's and he kind of St. Mary's, Ontario, home of the St. Mary's Lincolns. And then you have PGHL Kincardine Bulldogs, OEHL hockey, the Saugeen Shores Gulls of the OWHA. So he does a lot of work, and it's just great to see for him for doing that. I want to give a shout out to Andrew Van Every Media. So his coverage of OEHL hockey is fantastic. He did a little video blurb that included some content that I create that I put some audio clips that I had on the Blocking Biscuits podcast for the Petrolia Squires, which was really cool. But he does tremendous work. He's a grinder and just a hustler, and it's great to see him doing tremendous work. I also want to give a shout out to K Media, Kendra, doing unbelievable work in Southwestern Ontario. She recently did some coverage of the Tillsonburg Thunder game from this past Tuesday against Petrolia, and her work is undeniably good. So keep up the good work, Kendra at K Media there. You guys could kind of see the handles, but I'll give you them like obviously whatever you see there, but make sure to check them out, at least on Instagram, and you can find out more from there. As we mentioned, Blocking Biscuits. So again, tremendous startup here in the senior hockey circuit, and obviously with the podcast now, hosted by Trey Hamilton and produced by Brad Thompson. Want to give a big shout out to them. Make sure to follow along and find them on YouTube. Want to give a shout out to 48 Cuts. That's Kyle Thompson. Does tremendous work all over the Sarnia area, I suppose. Alvis the Killer Bees, Chatham Maroons hockey, Sarnia Sting. And again, he does tremendous work, and I've had the privilege of working alongside him, and he's just fantastic. So to Kyle, keep up the good work there, pal. I know you don't really do a lot of OEHL hockey, and that's kind of a shame, but maybe hopefully down the road that might change, but does tremendous work nonetheless. Want to give a shout out also to 509 Sports Online. You've seen lots of their highlights. They are amazing. Darren Stevenson and his crew do a tremendous job, and their work shows for itself. A lot of OEHL coverage across Tavistock, Seaforth, Lucknow, and Minto, among others, and just tremendous stuff there. The last one I want to give a shout out to is a rink in Ontario. Check them out. They look after the Kamoka Kings of the junior circuit, and then obviously you have the Petrolia Squires in there as well. OEHL Petrolia Squires, second seed in the South. So again, check all those guys out, guys and girls for that. But again, tremendous stuff that they do to cover the senior hockey in Ontario, and I just wanted to give them their flowers for that. But yeah, as we come back to me, hello. But yeah, like I said, guys, you'll see. I'll make sure to keep this throughout the course of the rest of the playoffs and any podcast that I do. Their information will come up on the side there for you so that you can have that information. And again, just want to make sure to give them, like I say, their flowers, because they absolutely, without a doubt, deserve it. So we'll get into the playoff matchups. We'll start there. We'll start. The first graphic that I want to show you guys is obviously our updated OEHL playoff bracket in the Paxton division. So the main championship here. You have the Creemore Coyotes and the Delhi Flames that have been eliminated from this playoff bracket. We'll see what the future holds for them in terms of the McLean Trophy. That would be the A bracket. I haven't received any real information on that, so I can't really give you guys a lot on those happenings. All I know, the last thing I was told was that the losers of the play-in and the losers in the first round can opt into that A bracket McLean Trophy bracket and that championship. So I don't know. That's the last I'm going to say about that. But so Shelburne and Milverton move on from them playing those play-in series and take on the one seeds in each division respectively. So Shelburne gets Ripley, Milverton gets Seaforth. As you guys could see, a lot of 2-0 series leads here. Durham leads Saugeen Shores 2-0, Elmville over Georgia Bay 2-0, Minto 1-0 over Lucknow. You have Tavistock 2-0 over Erin, Dunnville 1-0 over Elora, and you have a 1-1 draw between Tillsonburg and Petrolia. But yeah, guys, let's recap here quick. Milverton four-wheel drives defeating the Delhi Flames in the play-in series on the South, 9-2 and 8-3. So tremendous efforts there by Milverton to take that play-in series, and now they draw a very tough C4 Centenaires team. That this is going to be a phenomenal series. I think Milverton is one of those teams that I believe is a lot better than their record shows. I think they're really scrappy, and I think they can take a team like Seaforth and give them fits. Seaforth, though, really strong powerhouse in the South. They're not going to be an easy opponent by any stretch of the imagination. Camden Daigle leading the C4 Centenaires in scoring with 31 points. And Alex Hutchison, man, what a season for him. 10-1 on the year. Just unreal. He was phenomenal from the get-go. And every time he was in the net, it was very tough to beat him. So look for him to have a phenomenal first round. Milverton's in tough in this one. You definitely got to give Seaforth the edge on numbers-wise, but we'll see what happens come the puck drop for game one on Saturday, February the 14th at 7:30 in Seaforth. And as you guys can see, the rest of the schedule is as follows. You have back-to-back games, Milverton, game 2 and 3, back-to-back in Seaforth for games 4 and 5 if needed, Game 6, obviously 7 TBA or to be determined if necessary as well. But full schedule is there and laid out for you. From there, we go to the Tillsonburg Thunder and Petrolia Squires. For in this series, boy, tale of two different games here. Petrolia winning over Tillsonburg in game number 1, 4-1. Jacob Knowles had a tremendous game for the Squires, and again, it's just one of those games that Petrolia takes care of business on home ice in the opener. Game 2 went this past Tuesday, a rare Tuesday night game, which I know a lot in the OEHL players specifically don't like, but it's one of those things that sometimes the ice time, that's all that's available. Tillsonburg coming back though strong on home ice and taking care of business in game 2, winning 5-2 and tying this series at 1. So now game 5 that goes Friday, February 20th is absolutely needed in this series, no matter what the outcome of the next 2 games are. But the next one in this series goes on Friday, February the 13th, 8:30 at the Greenwood Rec Center in Petrolia. Ben Blacker getting the win in game number 2 for Tillsonburg in that 5-2 win as well. Our next series that we're going to look at here, the Dunnville Arrows defeating the Elora Rocks by a score of 8-4 in the first game of this best of 7 between the 6th seed Dunnville and 3rd seed Elora. This was a tough one. From what I understood, Elora had some travel issues, didn't end up getting to the rink until later, and kind of had a short warm-up and those types of things. I mean, it was just a matter of a series of unfortunate events, but it did lead to the Dunnville Arrows capitalizing on the Elora Rocks and defeating them 8-4 in this game. So Dunnville leads the series 1-0. The next 2 games are in Elora, Friday, February 13th, 8:30, Saturday, February 14th at 8:10. And then obviously on Monday, February 16th at 2:30 matinee game in Dunnville for game 4 of this series. So busy weekend, 3-4 for these 2 teams this upcoming weekend. Elora looking to bounce back on home ice. We're moving on to the 4-5 series in the South between the 5th-seeded Tavistock Royals and the 4th-seeded Erin Outlaws. And man, oh man, talk about an unexpected result, to be honest. I mean, even on the Block of Biscuits podcast, I praised the Erin Outlaws and how good they were going to be in this series. They have not scored in the first 2 games in this series, being blanked twice, back-to-back, Tavistock winning 3-0 and 5-0. The man between the pipes, Andrew Masters, man, oh man. I guess I should have saw this coming. A late addition to the Tavistock Royals, had a really nice finish to his season, and from coming in late, and man, puts up back-to-back shutouts. You rarely see that in any hockey level, and you see it here. 3-0 and 5-0 results. The next game in this series takes place on Saturday, February 14th, 7:30 in Erin, and then on Sunday, February 15th, 2:30 back in Tavistock for game number 4. Flipping over to the north side, this one was kind of, I mean, again, never seen it in the time that I've been covering senior hockey, but alas, here we are. Creemore actually taking game 1 in Dundalk between Creemore and Shelburne by a score of 9-5 and taking a 1-0 series lead in this best of 3. Shelburne coming back and hanging on for a 7-6 victory in game number 2 to tie the series at 1. That was in Creemore. Sunday morning shows up, and alas, what do you know? The game, there's an announcement that comes out, basically says in a nutshell, Creemore unfortunately didn't have the bodies to dress a full lineup. They couldn't agree to a rescheduled date, thus forfeiting the playoff game and ending their season, awarding the victory to Shelburne, who then takes the play-in series by a score of 2-1. So Shelburne advances. Their pennants for that date with top-seeded Ripley Wolves. My goodness, this series is going to be an absolute bloodbath. And I say that with all due respect and fact check. You want to fact check me? Watch and have a look at the game sheet from the last time these 2 teams met, which was roughly about 3 weeks ago. Shelburne Muskies in Ripley after defeating the Lucknow Lancers on the Friday in Shelburne. They traveled to Ripley the next night. This was after Shelburne, like I say, that victory against Lucknow, they broke a 10-game losing streak and they were on a high. The next night, they went into Ripley and got smacked around 7-0. And in that game, there was plenty more than just hockey that went on. I will not get into the details of it because I wasn't there and I can't tell for certainty what happened. But Friday, February 13th, Friday the 13th, yes, that's right. Odd coincidence there. 8 o'clock in Shelburne. This game is a not miss because it will be nasty if all of my intuitions are correct. This series is going to be a bloodbath. And Shelburne and Ripley. Ripley is the top seed, 16-4, 117 in, 49 against. They are a wagon, and Shelburne has their hands full. Only the first 4 games of this series have been announced. 5, 6, and 7 still to be determined. Moving on. Next series. The 2 versus 7. 7-seeded Lucknow Lancers and the 2-seeded Minto 81s. Minto, the 2-time defending champion, opening their 2026 OEHL playoffs with a 7-4 win in Palmerston at the Palmerston and District Community Center Complex. That's a big win for them. Again, massive win there, taking care of business on home ice and snagging a 1-0 series lead. Only 3 games in this series have been announced. The next 2 coming on Saturday, February 14th at 7:30 in Lucknow, and then on Sunday, February 15th, 1:30 at the Palmerston and District Community Center Complex in Palmerston, Ontario, Canada for game number 3. This series, Lucknow, they're a solid team. Minto, 2-time defending champs for a reason. This series might be over quickly, but Lucknow has a lot of fight in them and they will not give up. Next series we're going to talk about, the Georgian Bay Apple Kings and the Elmvale Harvesters. Now, this is a series that I was really expecting the Apple Kings to play more of a spoiler role. Elmvale handling business in the first 2 games to take a 2-0 series lead, now putting Georgian Bay in a really tough spot where they have to win 4 of the next 5 to advance. And it's a steep mountain to climb, but I believe in the Georgian Bay Apple Kings. I've seen them play this year. I know how good they are. Elmvale 6-3 in game 1, 7-5 in game number 2. And Jordan Fuller, 9 points in 2 games in this series. He's been unbelievable. Elmvale's Noah Featherston, Hao Gao, and Andrew Best both win a piece in this series. So really the goaltending seems to be at a big advantage. No matter who Elmvale puts in the net, they get a W. Game 3, Saturday, February 14th, 4:30 in Elmvale. Sunday, February 15th, 3 o'clock at the Beaver Valley Community Center in Thornbury. And game 5, if needed, because, again, who knows, Monday, February 16th, Family Day, 1 o'clock in Elmvale at the Floss Elmvale Community Center. So, again, we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of hockey, though, 3-3 between these 2 teams that are only really roughly half hour away from each other. So it's not so bad. At least they don't have to go from Paragon to Petrolia. Just saying. Final series we're going to look at in the North. And boy, oh boy. This series coming in, it's a double A classic. These 2 teams, rivals, they hate each other. Durham, though, 140 goals in the regular season in 20 games, 14-6, 72 against. And man, the game 1, they really came out guns a-blazing, 6-1 to take a 1-0 series lead. Game 2, a lot closer in Durham the next night. And Saugeen Shores actually led this game at one point by a score of 4-3. Durham tying it and then going ahead, really scoring really late to win it. And Justin Graham with the game-winning goal in that second game, taking the Durham Thundercats to a 2-0 series lead. Again, talk about mountains. We just talked about it with Georgian Bay, Saugeen Shores. We're talking the Grand Canyon of mountains here. Friday, February 13th, 8:30 in Paragon at the Plex, where they will take game 3. And then you have Saturday, February 14th, 6:30 in Durham for game 4. This series could either be stretched out by some Winterhawks magic or end quickly for some Thundercat brilliance. We'll have to see how it goes. Brandon Landry, 2 games, 2 wins. He looks pretty unstoppable in the Durham net right now. And man, oh man, this team really strong. And we'll see what the Winterhawks have in store come game 3. The last graphic I want to show you guys here is the playoff scoring leaders. And you got your top 20 here. Jordan Fuller, as mentioned, 9 points, leading all playoff scorers right now. Milverton's Austin Stemler, nice play-in series for him. 6 points on the board there. Justin Graham, 5 points. Jacob Kelly, 5 in the first game of the series. Didn't play in game number 2. Kyle Maloney, Kyler Nixon, 5 points each for Durham. Chris Weber, really nice play-in series for him for Shelburne, alongside Corey Allen, who had 4 points. Again, Shelburne, really nice first round in that play-in series and prevailing over the Creemore Coyotes. And again, we'll see at this point what they bring in this play-in series against Ripley. I don't ideally like the matchup for Shelburne, but a win in this type of series against the top monster dog of the North Division, the possibilities are endless after that. If that takes place, we'll see what happens. Should be a lot of fun anyways. But yeah, a lot of stuff here to take in. But beyond that, guys, it's just make sure to tune in to the socials of each team. Make sure to follow along with anyone who has a YouTube channel and is streaming these games, and make sure to follow along and watch them. The Elora Rocks are going to stream both of their games on this upcoming weekend, Friday and Saturday against Dunnville. They have their own YouTube channel. Tilsonburg, a YouTube channel. They didn't stream their game on Tuesday, which was unfortunate, but those things happen. I know I am going to be live streaming plenty of times this weekend. I'll be in Port Elgin on Friday, Elmville on Saturday, and Thornbury on Sunday as of right now. So a lot of games for me upcoming here. Obviously, Elmvale has their YouTube channel as well, so make sure to follow along with that. Live Barn is there, Sports Engine for, I think it's Tavistock, and make sure to check them all out, and then check for 519 Sports Online highlights, because they're all over it. They're doing a tremendous job. And then, like I said, your content creators that I showcase, make sure to give them a follow and like and subscribe. They put out a lot of great content, and it deserves recognition. So at the end of the day, we're all hustlers. We're all trying our best to get the product out there so that you guys recognize how good it is, because it's spectacular. And, I don't really know how to end this podcast on a higher note than that. But plenty of information. I hope it's all been useful information to you. And plenty of games this upcoming weekend. It's a family day weekend with the holiday on Monday. Extra day there for you guys. So lots of hockey, 4 nights of hockey, or 4 days, I guess you could say, a night and 3 days, or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, 4 jam-packed days of hockey coming up here, and no shortage of entertainment. So lots of barns to go to. If they're in your area, get there. If you can still get a ticket. Some places are selling out fast. So should be a great time. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. I love bringing you guys these podcasts. I love the fact that you guys watch them, and thank you so much. You can find me at the Real Raji 21 all across my socials. That's YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So make sure to like and follow along. Hopefully this podcast has been awesome, and I look forward to bringing you one again next week. Playoff time. I love it. It's so much fun. I'll have plenty of highlights on next week's, as well as I'm in the buildings of certain places. So make sure to get you some highlights. But otherwise, take care, everyone. Be safe out there, and we'll talk to you guys soon. So long, everyone. It's the Gone Fishin' Podcast in association with the OEHL and the Shelburne Muskies, and hosted by OEHL live on YouTube play-by-play commentator Andrew Rogers. This podcast is brought to you by Larry's Small Engines, your trusted Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Ski-Doo dealer in Mono, Ontario, Canada. Located at 286-270 County Road 10. Visit their website at larrysmallengines.ca or call 519-941-1517 today.